What's up, everybody? It's Simon from Lake Hub. Today's spotlight is on Caddo Lake on the Louisiana and Texas state line. Caddo Lake is pretty big. It varies from 25,000 to 30,000 acres, roughly. Kind of give or take. Kind of depends on how much rain we've had that year, right? It's more of a bayou than a lake. Yes, you can boat it. I'm standing right next to a boat ramp. There are boat lanes. But if you're not familiar with it, it's definitely not a wide open boating lake. It's a great fishing lake and an awesome wildlife lake. There's some camping, but people really come here for the nature of it, for the wildlife of it, more than the recreation of it. Caddo Lake is very commonly known as the only natural lake in Texas. Sort of. That's what a lot of people know it as. For a long time, it was. But about 100 years ago, a dam was built. So it's technically not a completely natural lake anymore. And the only reason it was a lake before, which we're using the term lake semi-liberally here, is because of a massive log jam in the river valley. And I mean massive. So we're talking about, centuries of build up here, of backlog, literally backlog. I wonder if that's where the word backlog came from. It got so big that US settlers in the area started to call it the Great Raft. And the federal government actually destroyed it in the late 1800s. So it really is technically more of a bayou than a lake. So what's the difference between a lake and a bayou and a swamp? So here's the best definition I can figure. A lake has a clear dam, berm, obstruction, not an organic pile of wood. Okay? A bayou is a slow-moving body of water, probably more on the shallow side. Okay? A swamp is just a soggy area. So it could just be like saturated ground, muddy, that sort of thing. So some people call a bayou a swamp, which I think is technically correct. You don't call a swamp a bayou unless it has moving water. You wouldn't call a bayou a lake necessarily, although a lot of people I think do. Because of the natural nature of Caddo Lake, what's interesting to me is that, of course, all the water is public. We're used to that. All of the shoreline is private. There is no Army Corps, there's no water district that's managing all this kind of stuff. So all of the shoreline is private. Thankfully, some public land entities like Texas Parks and Wildlife have like thousands of acres of shoreline. So that helps keep it natural. That helps give the public access to the lake, which is awesome because there's tons of hiking and stuff around here. So here are all the entities that are involved with Caddo Lake. This is pretty interesting to me. So I'm like a government nerd. All right, so I got my notes here. So we have the Cypress Valley Navigation District, which manages the boat channels. You have the Caddo Lake Levee District, which manages the dam. There's Texas Parks and Wildlife, which has Caddo Lake State Park. That's where I'm at right now. And then there's Caddo Lake National Wildlife Refuge, which is this massive area of just preserve. What's most notable about Caddo Lake is the look. It's the scenery. This is a really, really iconic looking lake. You see a picture of Caddo Lake, and if you know it, if you've seen it before, you know it right away. I mean, it's just iconic, I think is the best word to put it. You have these bald cypress trees that grow in and out of the water. They can live in the water. You have Spanish moss hanging off of everything. This is late fall. We're going into wintertime, and so everything's kind of gray. But when it's green, it looks crazy. There's just stuff everywhere. It looks really cool. The other thing that's really, really remarkable about Caddo Lake is the wildlife. It is a biologically dense area. Over 200 species of birds have been spotted here. 30 species of amphibians, 60 some odd species of reptiles, including gators. there's a lot of animal activity here, a lot of wildlife, bird watching heaven, fishing's fun too. It also makes it a really naturally loud area just because of all of the, kind of birds and reptiles and everything. We're getting into an area of the country where bugs are big and many also. So that kind of contributes to the ambient sounds. Now, right now, it's like kind of a cool, it was cloudy, it's kind of clouds are breaking a little bit, soft breeze. It's pretty quiet, pretty chill. If you like kayaking, either for bird watching, just for fun, for exercise, or for fishing, this lake is awesome for kayaking. All right. Again, it's not a wide open boating lake. You can get down there and boat. You stay in the lanes, and get your bass boat, something that's really shallow, that has like a really shallow draw. That's cool. But if you're a kayaker, this is like a dreamy lake for kayaking. Really cool. As far as camping goes, there's enough camping, there's like I said, I'm sitting in a state park here. It's your typical camping. They have cabins. They've got, hookup sites, dry camping. There's some on the Louisiana side too. There are campgrounds here. There are, RV parks, like private RV parks off the lake all around, like everywhere. There's little tiny little private RV parks like everywhere. I passed a bunch just coming to the state park. If you like camping, it's a really cool area. It's very unique. It's different. It's very Louisiana feeling. If you like hiking, there's some really cool hikes, like even like some boardwalks and stuff like that. In the state park here, there's a 1.5 mile loop, and it's like real hilly, and it's all through the woods. Looks really cool. Looks a little on the snaky side. It's like a single track trail right now. It's fall and it's just covered in leaves. That looked like timber rattler heaven and like copperhead heaven. So maybe like in the wintertime, just do your hiking in the wintertime. Watch your step, carry a big stick. That's my unprofessional opinion. At Caddo Lake National Wildlife Refuge, there is walk-in hunting. That's really cool. Archery for deer, archery for hogs during the deer season. There's a youth and a handicap kind of special season that you can apply for. But otherwise, that's pretty cool. It's, it's federally run. It's like walk on and hunt. So if you live locally or you want to do like kind of a cool special trip, a unique special trip, you're a bow hunter, that might be something you want to look into. If you like unique places to visit, Caddo Lake has got to be on your list. Come on out, check it out. It's an awesome trip. Tons of wildlife, tons of scenery. I'm Simon from Lake Hub. We'll see you out there.